What had just started as a way for my friends to see what game I was playing or see how I would react to a specific moment in a game had somehow manifested itself into a genuine possibility and a burning passion and desire for content creation. And once I found out that I could build this room from the ground up and make it truly into a content creation studio, I was extremely excited and super thankful for the opportunity. And now that it's done, things are just getting started. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the very first video of 2023. Now, I know it's been a while. It's probably been around 7 weeks, but there's a reason for that. We spent the whole time building this setup. Initially, we said it was gonna take a week, which would have been the 19th of January. Judging by the fact that this video is coming out in February, I mean, I guess you can tell it took a lot longer than that. But $10,000 and around 1 full month of hard, diligent work, and the 2023 dream setup is done. So without further ado, let's get right into this. To kick off this tour, we're gonna begin with the living side of the room. Starting with my bed, the last bed frame I had was a wooden box, and it was nice, but it wasn't nearly as nice as the ones I was looking at. For example, I was looking at these. Now, the issue is, I could not for the life of me find one with really good reviews that was in my price range. So I just chalked it up and I ended up with this bed frame from Wayfair. I caught it on sale on a really good price, and it supports my mattress really well. I didn't get a new mattress, and I don't know what brand it was, so don't heart me for that, but it is a good mattress nonetheless. As for the sheets, I got these bamboo sheets from Amazon on top of the bed in an attempt to make it look a little nicer. I bought a gray throw from Amazon as well. I mean, I guess it kind of worked out, but if you have any suggestions for how to make this bed look a little nicer, just let me know in the comment section down below. Now, as far as where I keep my clothes, I keep this in the Salinas Oak Cabinet from Big Lots. It was really well priced, but there was one issue. That it's not a wardrobe, it is a storage cabinet. So what I've yet to do is buy a pole to hang my clothes off of, which I will drill inside of this cabinet, but overall it is a nice cabinet and has plenty of space for any of my clothes or shoes. On top of that is a humidifier that I just bought, but I'm not comfortable leaving a link in the description for it because I haven't used it yet. Underneath the ceiling above that wardrobe is a plank from Home Depot that I don't exactly know the specifications of. Originally, I was gonna put some storage boxes up there, and I still think I'm gonna go through with that, but I haven't done it yet. And I will be putting those storage boxes around the plants that you see hanging off. Now, these plastic plants are from Amazon, and they were really cheap, but they were really nice looking as long as you scrunch them up and get them in the right spots. Hanging behind my bed is my daily driving backpack. It is the backpack that I used to go to college. It is the backpack I used to go to work, and it is a day owl backpack. The material is nice, the build looks beautiful, and overall I haven't had any issues with it so far, and I greatly recommend it. On the ceiling of the living quarter side is a light fixture that I also got from Amazon in this rustic oak type of color. It matches my desk and overall enhances the vibe of the room. Around the walls, 3 inches down from the ceiling, is a silicone track made by Hors Decor. I also got them off of Amazon, and I use them to hide my light strips so that the light goes up and it's more of a cove lighting feature instead of the traditional ones that people have on their ceilings across, where you can very visibly see the beads that I just do not like. At the foot of the bed is a feature that I just installed recently that I really seem to like, and it's this IKEA shelf that was gifted to me. Most people use this shelf as a shoe showcase, but I used it to just put some little knickknacks and stuff I had laying around. I bought these 3 different lights, one that represents PlayStation, which was actually the first console I've ever had, and then Xbox for life. I do game on PC now, but I do consider myself a part of the Xbox family, and above that is just a game over sign, trying to fit in with the theme of the gaming room. In between those are 3 different decorations that I picked out from my old room and brought over to my new room, and that is the pop figure of Geralt from The Witcher, a series that I really like. Above that are the only Legos I really own at the moment. It is a nice card that I got for a Secret Santa I did between my friends, Luffy above that because One Piece is the greatest anime ever made, and a ship that was gifted to me way long ago, so I have zero clue what it is or where I could find it. At the very bottom of that shelf is a BMW i8 RC car that I got for Christmas. The doors open up and close, and it is pretty quick and easy to control, and honestly it's a load of fun. And the shelf really brings the whole room together, but at the end of the day it is genuinely just a glorified candle holder. And no, I'm not lying. I genuinely just use it for that. Before I get to the more studio oriented side of this room, I do want to highlight a piece of electrical equipment that is littered throughout the room and has helped me bring everything to life, and that is the Belkin power strip. Now moving on to the right half of the room, it is the more exciting, more jam-packed, studio-esque side of the room that I really look forward to being in every single day. As soon as you walk into the room and close that door, sitting on that door are the acoustic panels that I had spare left over from the pack that I bought, and a Kobe Bryant canvas art which depicts him and a Mamba mentality definition, which is something that I read often and remind myself to try to follow every single day. Underneath that and to the left is my acoustic guitar that I haven't used much in the past few months. For now, it's sitting there smack center in the room just to try to remind me to get my hands on it. Across that side of the room and to the left of that shelf is my acoustic panel wall with my piano underneath it. And my piano of choice is the Alesis Pro 88 key piano. It is a great piano that got gifted to me so many years ago along with the chair, so I don't know exactly what chair it is, but it is a nice comfortable one, and I'm sure you can find another chair underneath $50 on Amazon that is just as good, as same with a stand. And underneath the piano is a cat scratch post that I bought off of Amazon, and don't worry, she is living great in this room too, because to the left of that scratch post is a cat door. She got used to it within the hour. That is also where her litter box and second scratch posts are located. The primary light on this side of the room is this wall sconce that I bought from Amazon as well. I bought it to try to fit the black theme of the room, and it does bring that wall together with some much needed detail. Finally, that brings us to my favorite part of the entire room, hands down, and that is the desk setup. Before we get to the stuff that I put on my desk and the desk itself, we're gonna tackle the wall behind it, which is the only accent wall in this room. Now you can buy slat board on its own and just paste that up on your wall, but they come out really expensive and your boy doesn't have that kind of money. So we took a trip to Home Depot where we bought these MDF boards that are prime 2.5-inch wide boards and spaced them out 3 inches each, and we ended up with this beautiful design after painting. I have my speakers up on these metal mounts that I bought off of Amazon for really cheap, and they've been holding up really well so far, and the speakers themselves are Edifier 1280Ts. In the future, I am looking to upgrade to the Yamaha HS8s, but for the time being, these speakers get plenty loud, they sound incredible, and sometimes I just sit there and vibe out to the music. In the center top of the slat wall is this Marquee Box that lights up that I bought from Amazon, and I put my company name on it, The Stray Dogs. We have a YouTube channel linked in the description down below as well, and you can expect more stuff from us in the near future. Now to tackle the desk itself. The inspiration from this desk came from all the YouTube videos that I've been watching on everybody else's setup, and I'm sure at the first glance you were able to tell that it is a very similar desk to what a lot of people on YouTube have done, which is 2 Alex drawers topped with furniturizers and an IKEA busher block layered over the top. The drawers are an addition of much needed space. In my previous setup, I had nothing of the sort, and now I have an almost infinite amount of space to put anything I want, and I'm actually running out of ideas of what to fill these drawers with, so most of them are actually empty at the moment, but they are pretty useful. Now, as for what's on top of the desk, let's start on the left side. It's actually more of a decoration corner, despite there being some genuine technology on that side. The main showpiece of this corner is my Xbox, which is the Xbox One X Scorpio Edition. This Xbox was gifted to me by my brother-in-law a while back, and I never felt the need to upgrade to the Series X since I switched over to PC. On top of the Xbox sits this pegboard organizer that I saw in a random Frank P video, shout out to him. On the pegboard itself sits a little holder for my pens and another holder for my straw hat coaster, which my friend bought for me a while back as well. Underneath that, on the pegboard's tray, is my controller of choice and this little astronaut that happens to double up as a sunset lamp instead of just a decoration piece. Moving back to the controller, I use the Razer Wolverine Chroma V2. Previously, I was using the Razer Wolverine Tournament Edition controller, and it had lasted me a long time without having any kind of stick drift or issues, except for one time where my cat dropped it off my desk and then proceeded to drop something else on top of the controller and broke one of the triggers. And so I had to buy a new controller, and I decided to stick within the Razer family because I truly believe they make the best controllers on the market. To the left of the Xbox decor is this little Eiffel Tower that actually doubles up as a letter opener knife, and to the right of it is my BlissLights Sky Lite 2.0. I haven't found a good place to angle it correctly to cast the Galaxy up on my ceiling, but in my old room I used it frequently, and the Galaxy it casts is really good, although I have heard that there are better, cheaper alternative options, so I'll link both of those in the description down below. Underneath the desk sits some all right cable management. cabinet, and my second Alesis piano. This is the Alesis V49 MIDI keyboard, which came with a software to make music in any way, shape, or form, which I haven't committed a large amount of time into learning, but I do enjoy using it, and I just haven't found a cable that's long enough to attach itself to my computer from where it sits underneath the desk. But once I do so, you will find me using that a lot in streams and or in videos. Hanging on the stand that I have for the keyboard is my Arctis 5 headset, which is an incredible headset. I truly believe that Arctis make the best gaming headsets on the market. These ones are just really old and have been beaten up and worn down, especially since my cat just seems to love to break my stuff, and so I am in need of an upgrade. I just don't have the budget right now to realistically do so. So in the meantime, while I'm playing Modern Warfare 2 ranked, I'm just relying on my teammates to let me know where people are, and I've been somewhat set with that. Moving back to the top of the desk, underneath my peripherals sits a cherry blossom mouse pad that I found on Amazon, which I think looked really cool, but I am thinking about switching it out for a topographic mouse pad. On top of the mouse pad itself sits another mouse pad that came from OpTic Texas. I bought this mouse pad from CDL Champs last year. I am a very big OpTic fan, and it is an incredible mouse pad that has worked really well, and it was super well priced, and honestly I can't wait to buy more OpTic stuff in the future. As far as the mouse of choice goes, I'm using a Logitech mouse, and since I don't game using a mouse, I didn't buy it for that reason. I bought it just to edit these videos or just as an overall work mouse, as it has a lot of utility with it, and you could use it from like 30 feet away, so that's convenient, I guess. Sitting to the left of my mouse is the keyboard I had bought a few months back to replace my crappy old HP keyboard, and it is the glorious 60% keyboard. It is pre-built. I have zero clue about switches and all this other stuff about sound, and I have literally no clue about any of that when it comes to keyboards. Even though I don't know that much about keyboards, to my non-enthusiast ear, it does sound really good, and the switches feel really nice in the hands. I just will say it is a bit loud. But I will say, if I were able to choose a different keyboard for myself, it would probably be one from High Ground. Sitting behind my keyboard are 5 different items, 2 of them being the absolute cornerstones of the entire setup that makes it all come together and work properly. Starting with my wireless charger. This is a white 15-watt wireless charging pad from Samsung, which came free with my S22 Ultra that I bought at the start of last year. It's not the fastest charger in my room, but it gets the job done as I'm sitting here working at my desk. To the left of the wireless charging pad is a plastic phone holder that I believe my sister got from Dollar Tree that I got after I asked for it a few times. And it's not the fanciest, sturdiest thing in the world, but it does get the job done, as I do like to have some sort of background noise as I'm here working at my desk. The centerpiece of the entire setup is this Google Display Hub. Primarily, it is used as a clock, but it is absolutely essential to the entire setup, as it controls a lot of the stuff around my room without me having to touch anything, which we will get to more later, and it sets my day-to-day schedule. To its right is the control center to the light bars that sit at the back of my desk to illuminate the slat wall, and to the right of that is probably the most important part of the entire setup, and that is Elgato's Stream Deck. I use the Stream Deck to control a lot of different things, and there's still plenty more things that I haven't even discovered about it yet. As I flip through the pages, there are different buttons that range from buttons that switch my stream scenes, clip audio in real time that allow for instant playback, buttons that allow me to play a set sound or song on command. I have an entire page dedicated to audio mixing for stream, but most of all, it is the 3 buttons that sit on the primary page of my Stream Deck that I use the most, which I use for Spotify. These buttons allow me to skip, go back, or play and pause my Spotify songs without having to have the Spotify tab open, and that is really useful, especially during streams. And in order to make that audio mixing truly great, I do use Elgato's Wavelink software, which came with the next product that I am about to highlight, which is the Elgato Wave 3 microphone. Now, this is a USB mic that has been incredible from the moment I took it out the box, and with a few extra special tweaks and changes, the audio has been sounding crispy. It has a mute button at the top of the mic, which allows me to stop talking on a dime, and 3 different audio settings on the mic itself with the dial that allows you to change those on the fly mechanically. In order to mount this mic properly onto my desk and move it out of the way when I don't need to use it, I use Elgato's low arm, which I couldn't recommend more. It is strong, sturdy, flexible, easy to mount, and it has a raceway for the microphone's USB cable in order to hide it up and make that cable management a little bit neater. Powering this entire setup is this NZXT Streaming Plus pre-built PC that I bought 2 years ago, and it has been great from the moment that I bought it. Obviously, there are some limitations that I have run into, but if we are able to find a PC sponsor, then I will be able to upgrade that setup and eliminate those problems. But overall, it is more than strong enough for most people. As for my monitors, I do have a dual monitor setup, which increases productivity and the speed of workflow just exponentially. Starting with the one on the left, it is an Asus monitor. I'm not exactly sure of the specs either at the time of recordings, but this monitor was gifted to me by my brother-in-law as well, and it served as the main monitor of my setup for a number of years until I was finally able to upgrade my main monitor. Having used a second monitor for a while now makes you realize how much the second monitor becomes a glorified Spotify screen, but whenever I am streaming, I do have OBS up on there and I can look at chat and also see what my scenes are. And while I'm editing these videos or playing games, I could have Chrome, files, Spotify, you name it, open on the second monitor and easily viewable. As for my main monitor, like I said, I did upgrade and it is the Samsung G70, not the curved one, the flat one, because I really haven't found any evidence that really suggests truly that a curved monitor is that much better for gaming performance. The colors on it are beautiful. I do have them boosted so that I can play games and it can look a lot nicer. It's 1440p, 27 inches, 165 hertz. The upgrade from 1080p to 1440p is truly noticeable in all things, whether it be gaming or editing. I will say, however, since I do have my colors boosted to the max, whenever I am color grading these videos, I color grade them on my second monitor, as it is a more accurate representation of the color that most people will see on their screen. As for the cameras that I use to film these videos, I don't have one. I'm dead serious. This entire video has been filmed on a borrowed camera and a borrowed key light. I used to use this really cheap, crappy webcam that was given to me by my sister, and it was always hard to get it to work in any condition. It was always focus hunting, or it just couldn't get the exposure right, and the settings always seemed to reset. And especially now that I've moved to this more harsh environment where some areas are super dark, some areas are super light, it just cannot seem to handle it in the slightest. And so I had asked to borrow this camera and this key light in order to film this video, but I do have to return these like immediately, so I added a camera and out of a key light. So Elgato, if anybody from Elgato is watching this video, I use your mic, I use your mic arm, I use your stream deck, I use your software, I use your capture cards. I believe that you guys make the greatest products for streamers and content creators, and I plan on using your products and upgrading them in the future as you guys release them as well. For example, I wanted to upgrade the Wave 3 to the Wave DX eventually. I just can't do so right now due to budgetary concerns. So if anybody from Elgato is watching this, please, I need a camera and I need some key lights desperately. Thank you. And last but not least, I'm sure throughout this entire tour you have seen them littered and they have been properly ignored by me to leave them at the end of this video, and it is all of my lights. All of my lights and anything related to them comes from GOVEE. They are a smart home lighting brand, and I understand that a lot of people go with Philips Hue, but Philips Hue is quite pricey, and GOVEE does the exact same thing for a fraction of the price. The great thing about having smart lights is that they're completely controlled by my smart assistant. As I was talking about earlier, I can easily ask it to change the lights to any color I want, to turn them off, to bring them back on, to turn them on at a certain time, and it'll dim them, and I don't have to do anything, and I'm completely hands-free, and it just saves a lot of time, a lot of effort. And once you go hands-free on anything, whether it be headsets, earphones, speakers, it just all becomes so much easier. And one of the really fun things that I also bought to complement my GOVEE lights is this GOVEE puck. What the sync center does is it syncs all the lights to the exact same beat with its own built-in microphone at the press of a single button, and it looks a little bit something like this. And with that, we have come to the end of the room tour. I don't believe I've left any products out, but if something caught your eye that I did miss, let me know in the comment section down below, as well as if I missed a link to a product that you might want to buy, also in the comment section down below. Now that we've completely moved into this room, you can expect some more consistent videos, although I do have to wait. As I mentioned, I don't have a camera and I do not have the money to pay for one right now, so that'll have to wait a little bit. And I understand that it's not the craziest, biggest, brightest, most beautiful, most powerful setup that YouTube's ever seen, but it is entirely my setup. So once again, it was nice to see you guys after such a long time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like, comment, and subscribe. Follow my Twitch, which is linked in the description down below and also pinned at the top of the comment section. We try to do fun things on stream that you may not see from my YouTube channel, and also you can interact with me in real time, and streams will be back real soon. So again, thank you guys for watching. Get lost in that moment, feel that passion burn, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.